Anyway, guys, special welcome back to Extra Time, live here in the studios of Soccer Bet. My name is Razak Musban. I've got here Penty Gijo, the Man United fan. They are looking to play Champions League football next season. They need just about, I think, 2 points to see their Champions League sport come next season. Well, Lawrence is back in the studio. Lawrence is back. Give it up for Lawrence. Give it up for Lawrence, man. Yeah, man. Lawrence is back in the studio.
The bugger is back.
He's been traveling across the ocean, and he's back to the shore. Chal, how does it feel to, fly, across the sea and in the clouds like that? How's the feeling
even
like?
before you go to that one, see, when I got off the plane and like the air that
greeted you,
was
man.
like, hey.
From
Yes, baby, oh.
Yes,
baby, oh.
I showed up.
Charlie. But then overall, the experience was nice.
It was good, eh?
I mean, from Accra to Heathrow to Inverness, the Scottish environment,
Bogavafi.
the English environment.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But he's a traveling boy.
Yeah.
He's a traveling boy from Ivory Coast to Morocco.
Yeah.
you
We all
know,
go film.
to Singapore, to
Yeah.
Thailand, to China, to Ablikuma,
See the ones he's adding people.
to Barnyard,
Charlie.
to Barnyard, to Fan Milk,
Now
to
we are home.
Mania.
Now we are home.
He's flying all over the place, man.
We are home.
Good to have you back. Good to have you
Good
back.
to be back as well.
Thank God for safe journey. Jijo is also here.
Yeah, big
and
boy.
he's smiling. He's smiling. And just before we got into it, he was trying to explain to us why Maguire has been a good investment for Man United. He said it has been a good investment for Man United. And we're scratching our head how that is possible, especially if the guy has only been useful in quote for Man United in the last 2 seasons. Is interesting to get it. Well, what do you guys think? Has Maguire been a good investment for Man United? How many seasons have been at United now?
Close to 6 seasons now.
6 seasons.
Yeah, close to
And you
6
bought him
seasons.
for how much?
80 million
80
pounds.
million pounds. At the time, he was.
80 million pounds. What is at the time?
million
At the
pounds.
time, he was the most expensive centre back in the world. And if you look at that signing, he was quite young at the time, and we splashed a lot of money on it. We expected him to be that guy to take us to the next level, but unfortunately, it went really bad. Where, for me, for someone to be able to come out of that type of misery, you see, sometimes as football fans, we think that the club is the one suffering, and we as football fans are also suffering. But the player also is going through those painful moments where every time he's in the face of the media, he's being criticized to an extent where the Ghanaian parliament used him as
Was
a topic
making
of
mockery of it.
That is the only thing that comes to mind when you talk about his down moment too.
Yeah, like that was a big one. And for you to see that he has been able to turn the corner and change the trajectory of his career and now becoming one of the key players of this Manchester United setup. And to an extent, United have now trusted him to give him a year of extension in terms of contract. You could see that is, for me,
It's a remarkable.
It's remarkable.
But in the context of an investment of 80 million in a series of 6 years,
sometimes
you think it was a good investment?
Yeah, no,
It's
you see,
been a
if
good
you
investment.
compare that to what we've seen with other teams as well, right? Barcelona went in for Griezmann.
We're not talking about Barcelona.
No,
we are talking about Maguire.
Maguire.
Just-
impact
I'm just-
is-
I know,
No, but
Inside
be
at the club.
direct. Has Maguire been a good investment?
Yes,
in the last
I mean, Maguire-
80 million.
Yeah, you see,
Pounds.
that's what I'm saying. That 80 million pounds now in today's markets, right, has been splashed on a lot of players who have been bad. You get it? People even 1 season off, they sell them off, right? So if you look at that and you look back at what we see now, some people at 150 million, we know what
No,
they're
but
doing.
you are
at
not
the-
answering the question. You are
it's a good investment.
dancing.
It's a good investment based on what we've seen in that period.
Maguire has been a good investment.
He has been a good investment. And what we are seeing now, he has been a good investment.
Has he been, Lawrence?
I don't think it's been. Maybe in the last 2 seasons he's popped up, delivered some good performances, but that doesn't make the case of him being a good investment for Man United. If you talk about citing examples, the clear case that comes to mind as far as centre backs are concerned will have to be Virgil van Dijk came into the Liverpool setup and straight away you could see the impact he had on the team. It was that kind of thing Manchester United were expecting with.
I mean, they didn't
Harry
buy him
Maguire.
to come and perform for 2 seasons
Yeah.
out of 6. Right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he was. That's what I'm saying. That it was a long-term thing. It was a long-term contract, and we all knew the struggles he had as a player at United.
Yeah, we are not
at the
disputing
beginning.
that.
Yeah, so
we are
what I'm
not
saying
disputing
is,
that.
what I'm saying is that, what I'm saying is that,
spending
what
so
I'm-
much on a player, I'm expecting that probably you use the first season as a learning curve. So if you are struggling in your first season,
Yeah, we
a
all
bit
knew-
understandable.
we all
But
knew-
subsequently to do it 2, 3, and then it has to take the latter days of your career to. Then
Yeah, well, so what I'm saying
I
is
would
that-
have probably waited and invested in you when you are quite old.
Yeah, you see, sometimes it don't work out like we all expect it to be.
Yes.
You get it? Look, if you look at the trajectory of Maguire in this United team, you could see that it just worked out just recently in this last 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
But in this last season, he has been extraordinary. He hasn't been.
Has
just
he been
good.
extraordinary?
Yes, he has been extraordinary. He hasn't been
He's
just
been good.
Has he been extraordinary? I think extraordinary is a bit
an overstatement, but he's
an
been good.
overstatement.
Yeah.
He's been good, but extraordinary. We know extraordinary performance.
No, like what I'm saying is that he has become a key player for Manchester United. If Maguire is not in the team, United is down tooling. They're suffering. The defense is weak.
I've seen him out of the team, and then I've seen Euro and then Haven also perform better.
What I'm saying is that he brings loads of experience. Sometimes I don't know why I'm saying this. If you look at the Europa League game against Lyon, who scored that winning goal? Yeah, time and time again. If you watch United, they have scored a lot of crucial goals for United in that period. Last minute headers, crucial equalizers. Within that period of time where he has been good, where you are saying that in the last 2 seasons, he was one of the key players because in that Europa League season, right, we went away to Lyon. I quite remember that comeback. Like, a lot of people didn't expect United to do a comeback in that minute. It was an extra time. If United fans could remember, it was an
that
extra
game
time.
not in Old Trafford.
Yeah, we went away. We went to get a draw. Then we came back and we played that game at Old Trafford. Extra time. Maguire header. And we scored. On countless occasions, I could remember the season where Ten Hag even won the FA Cup. He was one of the crucial players scoring goals in there. I'm not saying that it has all been rosy. We all know Maguire. If anybody mentions Maguire, everybody know what is associated
Yeah, but
with
bottom
Maguire.
line, you
But
believe.
Bottom line is
Despite
that
the difficulties, it's hard.
a good 2 seasons, right?
It's enough
It's
to write
enough-
off all the other.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
enough
it's
for
just-
me
it's
to
just
say
like
that
saying
the 80 million
maybe-
pounds. You know why?
It's enough to justify the
80 million pounds.
The 2
I'm not
seasons.
saying that
It's
he
just
had
like it's just like maybe paying a fees for your child. Your child goes to school. Out of the 6 terms, he passes in 2 out of the 6 terms, and we are saying all of
No,
us.
we are talking about the investment here.
That is what you are.
We are talking about
but
investment
you paying the
here.
fees is the investment.
it's
Yeah,
the
is the
what
fees.
I'm saying is that Maguire, if you look at his investment, I don't want this to be a topic that we can drag for long, but what I'm saying is that if you look at that 80 million pound investment in today's market, right, there have been players who have been signed even more than that who have failed and have been sold. They get it. Dembele went to Barcelona for almost 100 million, it didn't work out. Griezmann went to Barcelona for 120 million, it didn't work out. He had to go back to. It didn't even work out at all. He had to go back to Atletico Madrid.
Fair enough. I think fair enough. So you believe that it's been a good investment.
Yeah.
For me, I think the best investment that Man United have made in recent years, say in the last 8 years, has been Bruno Fernandes. I think.
I don't think
Yeah,
it
no,
is
I'm
like
not saying.
I don't think
no,
anyone
relax.
argued that.
No, relax.
Nobody-
No, but we know.
nobody argued that.
Nobody argued that. I'm the one
Yeah,
making that
yeah,
point. All right.
okay.
That has been Bruno Fernandes, and he's been an incredible player, no doubt about that. He's been Man United's best investment in the last 8 years.
No, in the last decade.
In the last decade.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to extend it to that level, in the last decade, and that's incredible. But as to where Maguire has been a good investment for Man United in the last 6 years has been with the club, just based on the last 2 seasons where he has performed creditably well, I think that is up for debate. And you can tell us if indeed he has been a good investment. Okay, but let's make progress. And talking about investment, Arsenal have made a lot of investment. And we saw that just last season, the number of players they spent. And I think if you look at where they are this season, it is a justified investment. Top of the Premier League at the moment. I mean, 1 game away from making it to the finals of the Champions League. And these are 2 things that the club haven't seen in over 2 decades, playing in the Champions League final and even winning the Premier League. So the investment appear to be justified. Then you talk about Bayern Munich and you talk about Paris Saint-Germain, 2 clubs who have also made some very good investment in terms of players, in terms of the technical team. Vincent Kompany, Luis Enrique, and they are all reaping the benefits of it. So, guys, let's talk about the Champions League semifinals now. And maybe, Lawrence, let's start with you. Should we start with the 9-goal thriller or
I'll prefer-
the
I'll
2
prefer-
penalties
I'll
that were
prefer-
scored
I'll
on
prefer to start
Wednesday?
on the sad note and move to
Was it really a sad note?
Well,
Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, was it sad?
I think based on what we saw on the day before, we were actually looking ahead to a better, not to as far as goals are concerned, but to the excitement today.
Was it really not exciting?
I think it wasn't.
Really?
I don't think
I
it
don't
was.
know. It was quite exciting.
I was on commentary duties, and for majority of the game,
I think you're on commentary.
felt a
Duties.
bit
Obviously,
off for
you
me.
want to see the goal.
yeah.
You
So
want to
I didn't
scream.
say from that angle. But then look, I don't think anyone expected anything different. Two teams that have been very compact throughout the season. Two teams that have really kept their back very well. As far as Arsenal is concerned, they've not conceded too many goals in the Champions League, so you know that you are always coming up against a very good side defensively. And even when you have managed to beat their defense, there's that last line of defense in David Raya who always puts up some crucial saves. Against Atletico Madrid, I think Arsenal had a good start to the game because after the first few minutes, they had settled. Even though Atletico were the first team to get a shot on target, I thought Arsenal's first 3 attempts were quite evident of what they wanted to do on the day, get some results in Madrid. Got a penalty, which the first penalty clear because there was a nudge.
The Atletico Madrid penalty was clear.
The
That's not
Arsenal one quite clear. Even the Atletico one, but I just want to look at that first half. Arsenal should have used that momentum, should have capitalized on those moments, and then gotten goals. That would have helped. They actually got one and then after they came back from the break, that foul, that handball on, I think Ben White, for a defender, that was too loose for him because you expected him to keep his arms behind him. But then it's a sport that requires movements.
Yeah.
So Atletico were back in the game, and that was a turning moment for Atletico. Right from there, they pushed the game to Arsenal. They tried to get the winner because they were playing at home. They obviously needed the results. Where I felt Arsenal came back into the game was after Eze was introduced into the game. He brought some spark, some little bit of creativity and fast forward thinking. I think it was one thing that they lacked while Martin Odegaard was on the pitch. Yes, he brings creativity, but he's not too fast of a thinker. Has to slow the game a bit down before he can react. But Eze is a bit different. Less creativity, even though he has creativity, a bit of creativity in him, but he's fast and then forward thinking.
And I think the most topical point relative to Eze was that penalty that was cancelled upon review. And Arteta was furious in his post game.
I was furious
and
as well.
He could not understand why that was reviewed because he says it was not a clear and obvious error. So why do you even go and review? Why does VR get involved in the first place? And it also, if I declare, I also made that point that it was simply not. It was a penalty, he says. But then I don't know if you've got the benefit of the close.
No, it was
view of it.
No, so let's take that action from a different point of view. Does it call for a foul? Any points aside the penalty in the penalty box? Does it call for a foul anywhere on the pitch?
Yes, I won't take a foul.
No, it does.
For that. I won't take a foul for that
in the sense
anywhere
that,
on the field.
No, in the sense that he gets the ball quicker than the defender, and then he has a contact on him.
It
That's
is an
a foul.
insignificant contact.
Yes, it was.
It is
was.
a
It was.
It takes something away
It's
from
a
you.
contact.
That's a foul.
If Eze tells me that contact was why he fell down, then I'll say, with all due respect, he's not
No.
being honest.
And if you look at that,
He's not
clearly
being
on
honest.
close shot, the stamp of Hanko didn't get to his feet totally.
Absolutely.
He was on the
No,
ground.
if you say what is totally,
No,
if
it
you
was
have an
a bit-
advantage, if you have an advantage as a forward and you're in a position to win yourself when you know that the ball has moved away, but you still have a chance to win the ball back, and
You
there's a
see,
contact. Are you
as
telling me you are still going to
as you
fight for
said
it?
earlier, right? If that wasn't in the box, maybe it might be given as a foul, right?
Then
But you see, when
that,
it has
that
to
nullifies
work.
your point you are making.
What I'm saying is that
that
the
nullifies
penalty
your-
decides the game, and for a situation to
Foul decide
decide a game,
games as
it has-
well.
No way. For a situation to decide a game, it has to be reviewed. Do you get it? What you're saying that it shouldn't be reviewed, that's what I'm coming at. Because that moment decides the game. Do you get it?
Yeah.
That incident had to decide the game for us to get a winner or not. It will definitely decide a game. So for the review to be done, and upon review, we saw that it wasn't a close contact as it looked. The referee
But
initially,
was there a contact?
no, wait.
No, wait.
One thing is that
I need
the
you to
referee-
address this. Was there a contact?
It was a minimal contact.
Was there a contact?
Always,
No.
it's
No,
minimal,
but the argument that
Bruv, was
no,
there
but the
contact?
argument
yeah, there was
that
a contact, but it was minimal.
yeah.
It didn't constitute even for me. That was a dive from. Eze.
Absolutely, it was
He
a dive
made-
for Eze.
he
Look,
made
Then
most
show him
of
a
it.
yellow card.
that's
Yeah,
the point.
why
And people
are you
ask
showing a yellow
questions
card?
why
Yeah,
the referee did not
but
show a yellow card.
I tell you, on
most
any
of that
point,
incident.
at any point of the game, if that was at any point of the pitch, if that was had been whistled, it's a foul for Eze. And I don't understand why he goes to the VAR and it's overturned. I'm sorry, but that's a foul.
No, look. To be honest with you,
That's a foul.
The very idea that we should
Even the
not
body
care,
language
we should
of-
not care about the intensity or otherwise of the contact, and that the fact that it was just a contact, whether minimal or otherwise, we should begin for a foul. With respect,
Yeah.
then that is not football.
Zach.
Yes,
Because you
just-
tell me that when I touch you,
Yeah, before then,
because there
yeah.
was contact,
No.
then we are not playing
He
football.
has an advantage to win back the ball because he has supposed
No, the
and
ball went
had-
away. The ball went away. If you watch the first penalty, for example, right?
I wish-
Jokeres still had
I wish-
chance to get onto the
I
ball.
wish we had a VAR in this room to review it ourselves.
Yeah, yes, there's a video on X. My phone is
Saleh,
on, but there's a video
tell
on X.
tell my producers that
Yeah.
the next time we come here, we won't.
No,
we
the
won't
producers
see-
should show it. The producers will work on it, and it will be in the video.
Yeah, they can
As-
add it to the
they'll add
Because
it. But
if-
if you look at it clearly,
Because the video you're talking about,
yeah,
the
video-
close shot
the
of it,
close
I've
shot
seen
of
it. So
there was
minimal.
There was no
He
like
still has a
actual
chance to.
contact on.
You are not
Eze.
telling me Eze is not winning that ball again.
You know, the ball went away.
No, so let me ask
The
you.
ball
was
is not
falling.
going up.
Yeah.
No, he
Yeah.
fell
No,
because there was contact.
But no, are you suggesting to me that the reason why Eze fell was because of that contact?
Because as an attacker, if I feel there's an advantage to utilize it, I will.
Yeah, so
No,
like-
wait. You're not answering the question. You're telling me that yes, he fell to contact and decided
he-
to take advantage.
Yes.
But the reason why he fell wasn't necessarily because of the
Was
contact.
because he felt contact.
No way. There are two things here.
He felt
it's
contact.
one thing to feel that you've been
No.
touched, so you want to take advantage and fall down.
Yes.
It's another thing to tell me that yes, the contact actually impeded my movement and I fell down.
If the
Which one
contact-
happened?
No, if the contact is not enough for me to fall down, I won't go down.
Yeah, it was reckless, of course. It was reckless, but it was not enough to give a penalty in such a high-stake game and
What is
decide that-
high-stake game?
Of course, it's a high-stake game.
What
That
is
is not a
high-stake
penalty
game?
on any day.
The thing is
Not
that
a
the penalty,
penalty on any
what
day.
is a high-stake
the
game?
penalty was given, but upon review,
Yeah.
it was denied or it was
No.
So what I'm saying is
So-
that based on what the referee went to the
Again,
VAR
I will
monitor
ask
to
you.
watch, he saw that the
Again,
contact
no.
was minimal and
Again,
decided not to
again,
give it.
Yeah.
I'm not
Penty,
saying that.
Penty, again, I will ask you, do you think it was a foul any other way on the pitch aside the penalty box?
Even it was a foul, it was a penalty as the referee whistled. But what I'm saying is that because it was a crucial moment in the game, it has
What
to
do you mean by
reviewed.
crucial moments in the
That's
game?
why we have VAR. That's why
Ah,
not
it has
every
to be
foul
reviewed. What
is
I'm saying
reviewed
is
by
so-
VAR.
Relax.
Some
Let's go back
incidents-
to the
some
quarterfinals.
incidents- no,
Let's go
no,
back to
I'm
the
coming, I'm
quarterfinals.
coming.
No.
I'm
Let's
coming.
go. No,
Sam,
before
no,
we go.
I'm just-
No, Zach, I'm
No,
coming.
relax.
No,
I'll
relax.
come,
Give
I'll
me
come.
1 minute. I
No,
was not here, so let me go back
No,
to
no,
that
no,
game.
I'm coming.
That
Wait.
yellow card on Kamavinga, does it change the trajectory of the game or it doesn't?
It does.
So why in that case, why didn't the referee ignore it?
We debated this and we said the same thing that it was what? His discretion. Do you get it? And that yellow card cannot be reviewed by the VAR. So based on the referee's discretion on the field, he pointed to the penalty spot. That was a penalty for Eze. Now, because the penalty was debatable and
There's nothing debatable.
very good. What
he,
I'm saying
he,
is that
he pointed to
the
the spot.
Atletico Madrid players wanted a review. Everybody on the pitch wanted a review. The referee went to the VAR and reviewed it and said it was
But
a
in
penalty.
every situation, people want
And
review.
you see the
Yeah,
point.
even
I
when
wanted-
they have committed,
but
they
you see
won't
the
review.
point I wanted
What
to
I'm
make
saying
too
is
is that
was based on the review, we also the man went to the monitor. The person who even initially gave the penalty went to the monitor and checked everything that was there.
The
and said
point I
that
want to
the-
make, and you made a very profound point that if this had happened anywhere else on the field, would they have taken it? And Penty says, well, yes, any other field it might have been taken as a foul. But you need to understand that in the course of the game, based on what has happened now relative to the rules, we now have some fouls which are more important than others. That is
that's a
why
crucial moment in the game.
Zach.
I'm coming. That is why some fouls go back to VAR and others don't.
Zach.
So fouls like these, which happen in a penalty box, which could result in a penalty and impact the game, there have been rules that these decisions should be reviewed. Officials will be given the opportunity to look at them again. So this foul, if it had happened around the corner kick area, they will not go to the VAR because it has little consequence on the game. You understand? So there are some fouls, and they are much more important fouls which impact the game.
We've seen.
So if this foul had happened at the corner kick,
award non-existent corner kicks, and teams have taken advantage of it. What are you telling me?
and these days, and what is interesting that now, even going to the World Cup right now as we speak, VAR has been mandated to review corner kicks. You see,
So
that explains to you, that tells you that right now some decisions are more important than others.
So if you are telling me that, if any other party there won't be a review, fair point. But my point is, it's a foul. If it's a foul, then any other part of the
It's not a foul. For me, it's not a foul. If it happened at the corner kick and the referee had taken a foul,
But
it
I
would have
get
been
your
a wrong
point.
decision.
No, I get your point from where you come from.
No, I'm not coming from
I
a
get
place
your
of
point
bias.
from
I'm coming from a very
you're
objective
not coming
place.
from.
I'm coming from a
where
very
you're coming
objective
from is a point
the
of
benef-
bias.
No, it's not a bias. No,
Zach,
look,
I've
had the benefit.
put it to you.
Look, when I first saw it, okay, my first impression was it was a foul. In fact, even the visuals that the officials, the referee was privy to when he was reviewing on the VAR, I thought it was a foul, still a foul. But the benefit of what I've seen today, which was shared by Sicho, and I think Adjo has also posted it on X, that close shot, and thanks to science, which has given us the benefit of seeing things in a very closer lens, and I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah.
Charlie, you should see it yourself. I think I should show you right now. You should say, the guy literally touched.
I will welcome it if you
What
show
do you
it
call
to
this
me.
in English? This one.
Laces.
On can't brush in say I say brush so
And he stamped on the grass.
Let's
So it's not a foul.
Okay,
It's not a
let's-
foul. It's nowhere a foul. It's not a foul. But one other thing that came out from that game is that Ian Wright has been very critical of Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard. He says Martin Odegaard has got to turn up. He said he doesn't understand what has become of the player now. Captain of the team, and he's become a pale shadow of himself. And he also talks about Bukayo Saka Bukayo Saka, Bukayo Saka has also become, less impactful in the team. If you look at the conversation surrounding him and the caliber of player that people have always thought of him, it's like, Charlie, his impact in the game has become minimal. We saw him playing. He played against Sporting, right?
Yeah, he's played.
Look, and when it comes to situations like this, in as much as you want to blame the player, I sometimes also feel the manager should take a blame. And for someone like Mikel Arteta, it's happened one too many times for this to, just put all the blame on the player. It's a reason why you have a squad. It's a reason why you have a bench. You can't keep playing the same players over and over again. And you can go back to last season, this season. Too many players used almost every time. And when you get to the tail end of the season where you need these players refreshed and come back delivering with fresh ideas, they are lost. They are worn out, they are injured, and they are not delivering to the best of their abilities. It's happened so many times. The guy kept playing consistently when he had options on the bench, and games that had already been won when you can introduce new players for Saka, for Odegaard. For Odegaard, sometimes, I don't know, but
you're telling me that we should ask questions of Mikel Arteta for the performance of Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka now.
I'm saying for the usage of the players.
What has he done to Bukayo Saka?
When a player is worn
Bukayo
out,
Saka has simply not turned up from Arsenal in
because
recent
he's
time.
worn out.
Worn out, saying even when he was not worn out, what was he doing?
And this is a player when
This season, how many goals have Bukayo Saka and
relax.
assistant goals has he?
This is a player that goes to injury. If the very moment he's back, sometimes he's even rushed back.
Really?
It's happened. Martin Odegaard was not supposed to play that Arsenal game.
Which one? The one against?
Yes. In fact, this is where I bring my London experience. And I was reading papers from the British media. Mm-hmm. He wasn't expected to play that game.
He wasn't expected to.
Yes.
And what happened?
And then all of a sudden, we see Martin Odegaard in the starting lineup.
Why was he not expected to play?
Because he wasn't fit.
Who said he wasn't fit?
These are reporters who on the
the coach and the medical team have assessed the guy. They've passed the guy. You say he was not fit. The coach, the medical team have assessed the guy. He's ready to play. Then he's playing. You say he was not fit.
When we saw Asamoah play, we all know that is why we go back.
That Asamoah matter will be different.
How different is it?
Baby Jet.
How different is it?
Baby Jet, malaria.
We need to care about the very moment we pay attention to the well-being of the players, we begin to understand certain stuff.
But the argument that
it's the same way we are here.
Arsenal used Martin Odegaard, even though he was not fit. I don't buy that.
It happens. It is the same way we sit here and talk about players mental health when they are being criticized. We don't know what the players are going through.
No, we understand.
And this assertion, it is the same way we go and sit down and say the players are playing too many games, and some of us will say because they are being paid a larger amount of wages.
We understand. We understand that, but when you tell us that the reason why Martin Odegaard shined yesterday did not do
I'm
well
telling you that the
against
reason why
they're having
Atletico
this
Madrid
conversation
is because he was not fit to play.
Zach,
That argument won't sell for me.
Zach, let me side with a bit with. Let me side with both sides a bit. See, it can be two ways. The reason why I'm having this conversation now is because Arsenal are not performing well, and they're not getting the results.
Yeah,
that's one, right? So for some time now, there have been players who have been stepping up, and Arsenal are getting the result.
Yeah.
Odegaard was out for some time,
a very long time.
Do you get it? Nobody mentioned Odegaard in that period of time.
Yeah.
Because they were getting the results.
The results.
The likes of Trossard were coming into the mix.
Eze.
Gyökeres was scoring. Eze was scoring. So nobody was mentioning. Even Saka was playing, but nobody was mentioning Saka because by the end of the day, Arsenal gets the results and they move on.
Yeah.
But now, the reason why you're calling these players Odegaard, Saka, is because the results have not been good in recent times.
Yeah.
And the expectation is that these are players that have been in this Arsenal team for a very long period of time and are senior players in the team that need to take responsibility.
Absolutely.
Now, if you look at what we've seen of Arteta's team in the past season, I side with Lawrence on the part that most of it has to do with Arteta because then again, you have to take responsibility as a coach to be able to manage your squad to the extent that certain your key players come to the party when it matters most. Now, if you look at what we've seen of even what Pep Guardiola is doing this season, certain players do not even get a chance to be part of the team. But when he needs to bring, we saw Tijani Randers in the FA Cup. He hasn't been. I don't remember the last time Tijani Randers have played in Pep Guardiola's Premier League starting 11. But when he was called upon to come and play in that few minutes in that FA Cup against Sunderland, we also saw what he brought to the party. We also saw what Nico Gonzalez, who haven't been playing, but because he knows how to manage his squad. And these players will not be running around. But I also want to side with Arian Wright a bit because some of these players also need to tell themselves we want to win something. We want to make history for ourselves because Odegaard has been the captain for this team for the past 3 seasons, right? What has he achieved? No trophy. So as a captain of the side, there has to be that.
Bukayo Saka is assistant captain. These are two key leaders.
So these are two key leaders. For them personally, this motivation of winning something for the team has to be there.
It has to be there.
They have to be telling themselves that we want to win something. And that is where I side with many people when they say that we don't have characters in this Arsenal team because that is the main reason why they're not winning trophies. Because if you have players who have huge egos and characters in their dressing room, they even motivate the other players around them to do better and win trophies. And sometimes it doesn't always have to do with the coach because in certain games, right, the players have to take responsibility.
Absolutely. Now the question is, to wrap up on the Arsenal one, of course, at the moment it's almost like goalless. It's a clean slate for both
all
teams.
over again.
Who do you seriously fancy to advance to the finals?
I think Atletico Madrid have done themselves a really big disadvantage by not winning that game at the Wanda Metropolitano because that was the only game that I thought they had the advantage because the crowd was behind them. But they played as if they were playing away from home. They were not serious at all. They were defending, packing the bags against Arsenal. And you had players in the likes of Alvarez, Lookman, Griezmann. These 3-4-3 guys could punish Arsenal on any day at the Wanda Metropolitano. You did it against Barcelona. It worked. So what happened?
No, except that the way Barcelona shape, I was the same way Arsenal.
But you see, they had chances.
The approach against Barcelona worked, but you can't use that same approach against.
I think that in recent times, they've been having a bad form, and it has translated into the Champions League. If you look at the La Liga form, it hasn't been good. And you can clearly see that has also played a role in how they play. Diego Simeone has to make it work, but going to the second leg, I think Arsenal have the advantage because they're playing at home. One, and in the Champions League this season, Arsenal barely concede goals at home. They've not lost.
They've not
Yeah.
lost, yeah.
And no, the most important thing is the conceding of goals. Arsenal, the reason why they are here is because they've not considered goals.
I think in 200
actually-
and
they've not considered.
This season they've
minutes now.
considered 2
they've, in
at
the
home.
Champions League.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
again, and
Yeah, that's
The
incredible.
reason
both came
why-
against
And the
Carrick.
last 3 games they played in the Champions League, they conceded once.
Yes.
And
So
that was from the penalty spot against Atletico Madrid.
yeah, so that's the reason why they are here.
Yeah.
The
Charlie,
fact that
you
they are
think
not conceding
Arsenal-
goals.
Arsenal will
So
make
I
it
think
to-
Arsenal will make it to the final. Yeah.
I don't entirely agree with him because if we are talking about crowd and momentum, I don't think Atletico is new to it. We saw Atletico at Anfield some seasons ago. Even this season, we saw Atletico against Barcelona at the Camp Nou.
Yeah.
They are not new to these environments. there are no new faces to intimidation. And I thought they will go all out at the Emirates trying to play their football because they have nothing to lose. And they have all to play for. So I'm tilting towards Atletico. And the reason why I tilt more towards them is because now they will come, open up, and you have maybe, just maybe, you could have Solot come into this team, and he's one big player who changes this Atletico Madrid team very well.
I genuinely believe, I agree with you that Arsenal will be under pressure at the Emirates. You know,
Exactly.
they are home.
And considering how Arsenal have played in recent times, the last 2 Champions League games they played at home against Leverkusen, against Sporting, serious questions
Yeah.
have to be asked.
Yeah, my problem is Arsenal don't score goals. That's my problem. They haven't scored more than once in the last 5 games they've played. Every game they played, the highest they've scored is just 1 goal. They scored 1 against Newcastle over the weekend. Before then, they scored 1. That was a consolation goal against City. Even the final, they scored 1 against Southampton. They scored 1. They've just been scoring 1. Yes, against Sporting as well, they just scored 1 goal. They need to find a way to score more. And these are the players that we've mentioned. Saka, Odegaard. These are players that need to score. And you see, if you're not scoring, you might still qualify, but you might not win because...
It's a big problem.
See, we are come to talk about the Bayern and PSG game.
And
This is
just-
the goals that
I mean,
people were
because on
scoring.
the note of scoring, those are 2 teams that score goals. And I don't know that you guys saw it, but the assistant coach for the Sudan national team and the former coach of 11 Wonders, Ignatius Oseifusu, he said the game that Bayern and PSG played, nobody should gaslight them to thinking it was a good game. They said it was not a good game. It was a game that lacked structure. He lacked so much football terms there. Yeah, and of course, he was speaking purely from a coaching perspective, but from a fan perspective, it was exciting. Nine goals was exciting. But what Vincent Kompany said at the end of that game was that, look, it's just 1-0. If the game had ended 5-2, then obviously Bayern Munich would have been in a very difficult position. But 4-5 is a decent position, and they can go to the Allianz Arena and overturn it. But if you concede 5 against PSG, yes, you scored 4, but if you concede 5, that's a problem. And it's on the back of having conceded 3 against Freiburg in 45 minutes that they have to find back to win that game 4-3. So in 2 games, you see Bayern Munich conceded by 8 goals. And if you leak this much, PSG will not care whether it's at the Allianz Arena. If they can score, if they can find it easy to score like that, they will score. Because they can go there and do the same thing. And the game can end 6-7. It can end, 8-9. They will score you, you score, but they will score you. If you leak that
They will
much.
outscore you. That's the thing. They will outscore you. And I think if you look at what PSG has done this season, they just know how to score.
Yeah.
The reason why they are here is because of the goals they've scored. They've scored more goals than the teams they face in the knockout stages.
In the last 3 games of the Champions League,
Yeah.
Chelsea took 8-2 on
Aggregate.
aggregate. Plus what? 5. That's how many?
13.
In 3 games. When someone scored just 1. No, 2. 2. In 3 games.
Yeah, Arsenal. But you see, that is what we are talking about. The level of quality that comes to the party in terms of the striking force of the PSG team, Desiree Doué, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele. Look at the players. They've been scoring for fun.
Yeah.
And that is why we watched that game and we all enjoyed it, because Bayern also had Kane, they also had Olise, and they had Luis Diaz. These players score goals. They bring the enjoyment, they bring the excitement. And the party is more interesting because we are going to see fun. These people will always attack. The 2 coaches, they are not defensive and they want to press. But what I want to say is that one person have to get matured in this game if they want to progress. Now, it is right now, Luis Enrique is leading 5-4. All he needs to do is close shop, wait for Bayern to press, and utilize the players that he has. And he did it even in the game itself. If you watch that game clearly, most of the chances PSG created, the goals they scored, were all on breaks. The counter-attack breaks was excellent. It was executed to perfection. One of the balls where there was a cross, and the two PSG players in the box had to, Zaire Emery and Dembele had to jump over the ball, knowing perfectly what Kvaratskhelia was behind them.
That was brilliant.
That was absolutely brilliant. And there were counter-attack situations, and they scored. They scored two quick goals because of their counter-attack breaks. And that is what I think Luis Enrique will use to edge company here, because he knows when to capitalize on those moments, and he has the players to execute that. However, the Bavarians are playing at home. Looking at that atmosphere, they used it perfectly against Real Madrid. We saw in that game, because if you look at that game was very close. It was close. You could say but for me, I thought that
fair question. Did they?
Yeah, they qualified. At the end of the day, they beat you. Yeah. The 5-3, right?
It was that is when we go back to that situation. It was a situation that changed the momentum.
No, you see,
they didn't.
No, you see,
what I'm saying,
the fact that they are playing at home,
eventually they beat home and away.
It's different if some things are deciding the game. But if you are saying the atmosphere, that is what I don't agree.
No, what I'm saying is that, you see, if that yellow card incident that happened, that they said it was for me, I didn't believe Kamavinga should have been yellow carded for that incident, right? However, because Bayern are playing at home and the atmosphere was there, the players even went back to the referee to remind him that Kamavinga was already on a yellow card. And all those instances of them pushing to the referee and pushing.
So it wasn't the fans.
Who is going to advance for you?
For me, I think PSG will advance because they have a very good coach who understands how to manage the game, and the team is well balanced. They have a very good midfield and a very good attack. It's not one-sided where I can see that. I think the Bayern side, I think that their strength is just the attack. Upamecano has been good, but he has a bit of deficiencies in his game. The midfield, I think
even his partnership with Jonathan Tah
is not that solid. Yeah. And also the midfield, apart from Kimmich, I don't see the other players pulling the strings.
Yeah, let me bring Lawrence in. Well, Lawrence, clearly, it seems to suggest that of the two teams, they don't have a problem with scoring. So the only thing that can help either of the teams to qualify to the final is if they can tighten their defense. So the coach is able to tighten his defense pretty well, might advance, because as far as scoring, they will both score.
Yeah, I just don't think PSG have a better defensive ability than Bayern. I just feel Bayern will probably do a need to work defensively than what PSG will do. And if you go back to that game 2 days ago, you could tell that if Olise was a bit clinical, if Luis Diaz was efficient enough, they ran away with a simple win. It wouldn't have even been, because they had a good start to the game, created the chances, missed them. Even the latter part of the game, they could have just gotten the equalizer and ran away with the victory. And this is why I feel Bayern will just top it over PSG. Look, that's Goretzka introduction. That's Kimmich Kimmich being allowed the space to then move the ball freely without staying back too much. It's going to change because company needs someone higher up there, to do the distribution. You see how deep, and it's always been a trait of Harry Kane to drop deep, but then it's about the runners. It's always about the runners, and it's actually the reason why I give Luis Diaz so much credit for that goal he scored. Brilliant. The first touch, take it away from Marquinhos, quite absolutely brilliant. Not too many players who deliver that. Going back to Allianz Arena, I just feel they have the upper hand. I feel they are going to control most of the game, and PSG will come crumbling. Look, when we watched that game against, you didn't see the best of Desiree Doué, and I don't think it's going to be anything different at the Allianz Arena. You didn't see the best of Ousmane Dembele despite the goals that he scored. I was surprised he was named the man of the match at the end of the game. Oh, yes, I was. I actually was surprised. Look, I thought Bayern are going to play a better game.
And you think
if at some point, if they have obviously they are going to have Vincent Kompany on the touchline. If they had Vincent Kompany on the touchline,
You think things would have been different?
I honestly believe things would have been different. Look, there's a point where you stand on the touchline and you are able to tweak certain things of the game, certain aspects of the game easily.
And you saw his suspension was so strict. He had zero contact.
Exactly.
Even zero. Even at halftime, he could not talk to them. Nothing. So everything that was happening in the game, one, it was the instructions the player had been given before the start of the game, and the players in provision. Then also those who were on the touchline trying to gauge what Vincent Kompany would have done to try and work things out. So I agree with you that him being on the touchline will be a different.
One man that will.
You can also dismiss the experience of Luis Enrique in situations like this. What he's facing is not new to him.
Seen it too many times.
He's seen it many times. He knows how to navigate this kind of thing.
How important PSG have relied on someone as key as Achraf Hakimi. And it's one player for.
Yeah, he's going to miss out on that return leg. Yeah, he's picked out a hamstring
injury.
Somebody said, yeah, Manusuli have been at his
the thing is that he was rushed back too early with his injury. And if you look at the Morocco AFCON incident, that the fact that he was part of the team, and see the injury that he should have been given enough.
An ankle injury.
Yeah.
It's a hamstring.
Yeah, I know, but you see, it's all part. You see, the player is tired. If I'm I'm using the guy too much. He's one of the best players I've seen. Like, he's one of those players that.
But you see, someone like Achraf Hakimi, but Charlie, but Champions League. I don't think guys were brains.
Like he's a key player. You get it. So definitely don't use it. But
have to.
I feel like that will even help the team because then they have to be more defensive.
Sorry, I'm taking you back. You see how he made the excuse. So but over Champions League. Let's go back to that Arsenal conversation again.
Saka.
But we pray.
So Zach, I just believe PSG.
Yeah, PSG.
Anyway,
sorry, I just believe Bayern will edge it over PSG.
All right, well, let's see what happens. I think it's going to be fun. Is it happening this coming next week? Or 2 weeks from now?
No, next week.
Just next week.
Yeah.
Wow. Send on my bro, play someone bre. Because you see that's why if you play in leagues like Germany, where Bayern Munich have wrapped up the what they call it, the Premier League,
and also
the league.
Also French
this
League
weekend they are not going to play any serious game, and I mean not serious. I mean they're not going to feel the core of the team. They're just going to use it. 200,000 a week, wabre.
And these are some of the comments.
Yeah, wabre. You know, they've Bayern Munich have wrapped up the league, so they're not going to. I'm not sure if PSG have got a game this weekend because they have the
they had their last game postponed and all of that.
They had the luxury of postponing their game.
Getting a lot of favors from the French FA.
They're still top of the French league and they haven't wrapped it up yet. But I think they're definitely going to win it. They're most likely going to rest some players. But for a team like Arsenal, they don't have that luxury.
They don't have that.
For Premier League, you understand? They don't have that luxury. So they've got a game this weekend. Who is Arsenal playing this weekend? They're playing Fulham. Almost stress you too much. Fulham.
Are they playing at home?
Yeah,
Arsenal are playing at the Emirates, so it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one to build up to the game against Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So they are playing Fulham on Saturday, right?
Yeah, playing at home.
On Saturday. I'm sure on Saturday.
Yeah,
and then on Saturday. For Atletico Madrid, they know Champions League spot is sealed for them. Okay, so they won't do Gidi this weekend in the La Liga. For them, the La Liga, they've forgotten it. They've not been fielding their best. Charlie, they've been losing. Anyone who has been placing at Atletico Madrid, Charlie, you hurt yourself. But I think they won this weekend. They won 2-1 or so. So let's just touch on the Premier League briefly because Arsenal have still got a chance of winning the double. They've got their eyes on the Champions League. They've got eyes on the Premier League. And Man City's and Tejaikra. But they should. Okay, Man City is playing who?
Everton.
On Monday.
Monday night football.
But what is good for Arsenal is that they win against Fulham, then they extend the lead at the top of the Premier League table, 6 points. Ahead of the game Man City have against Everton.
Everton on Monday.
And if they open it up 6 points, Everton, anything can happen to them. Some spirit can enter them and it will just frustrate Man City. You understand? And if that happens, it will be really good for them. But guys, the title race, the Premier League right now, is fun. And I like the fact that Arsenal got the win last weekend
against Newcastle.
Yeah, against Newcastle. It was a very important win.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
It was a typical Arsenal win. Scrappy 1-0 and they got the job done. That is what they need to do to the end of the season.
Yeah.
Just get the job done. And now the responsibility is to score more goals as well because
the
goals
difference
difference will
also
come in and it might play a role at the last end of the season. But for me, I believe the 2 games advantage that they have is psychologically is one of the best things that Tete could wish for.
Yeah.
Because then you've now placed the pressure on Pep Guardiola and Man City to win games. And, when the pressure is on you to win, sometimes it affects the result because you're playing with a lot of pressure, nerve of the players will be high. A lot of things can change with that kind of pressure. We saw it even against Burnley because they needed to win their chances. Even though there were chances they could have, just normal chances they could have scored, the pressure was there, the players were nervous and they missed those chances. But they managed to win the game by 1-0. But
and I think the game against Fulham is important not just for the Premier League but also for the Champions League. Because if they drop points against Fulham, it kills momentum. Will affect their momentum going into the game against Atletico Madrid. Because first, one, they are playing that game at home. If you win it, Charlie, you've created a crazy atmosphere already. Yeah. And the minds of the fans, Charlie, they are going to bring that atmosphere, that fun, that victory against Fulham into the game against Atletico Madrid.
And I think that's what Arsenal need. Look, if they are to finish the season on a high, they don't need to drop points. They need to get the fans going behind them. I say it's that game against Bournemouth took away something from this team, but then again, you go on to the game they played against Manchester City. I felt it was one of the best they had played in recent times. Even though they lost that game, it was much improved performance. Then again to the Atletico performance, the first half brilliant, last tail of the second half. Okay, they need to beat Fulham at all costs. Wherever those wins will come from, wherever the goal will come from, they wouldn't care. And it's sometimes that is some of the things that win you the games. You don't need to. It doesn't always have to be football or the work rate on the pitch. Sometimes it just takes an own goal, it takes some ricochet, something to get the result.
The game against Fulham is a must win. It's a must win.
It's a must win. And also, I also believe that the manner in which they win will also tell the story to the end of the season. Because if you are able to beat Fulham by 3 goals, you set a tone, or you set like that fear factor of us being afraid of Arsenal will be back.
Yeah.
But a scrappy win is good. A win is a win, right? But in the manner in which you win will also either deems the confidence of the team. Sometimes I can see it in the players. Because
I don't think it does.
No, you see, when you score a team and you go in, they tap a team by 5-0, right? You know how the players feel after that?
Yes.
The players have more confidence.
But except that, in the situation they find themselves in now,
you need a win at all costs.
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that it doesn't matter. The 3 points are the most important thing. But you're in the title race. You need to score goals to get a goal difference, right? You get a goal difference. Now, if you are level on points with Arsenal, you are level on point with Man City, right? You are still on top because you have a huge goal difference. That brings confidence to the players. That also brings confidence to the fans because now when Arsenal fans are arguing or they are even supporting, they are a bit skeptical about it. They are not wholeheartedly convinced because in the last 5 matches, they scored just 1 goal in every match they played.
Yeah.
But I understand your point about, look, the manner of win is important and they need to improve on that. I agree with you, but it is not the most important thing for Arsenal now. A win is what they need, regardless of the manner it comes from.
Yes.
That's what they need.
It's important.
Yeah.
Just get
the
a
game
win,
against
get
Fulham,
the job done.
Whether you score 5 or you score 1, get the win.
Yes.
If you get the win,
it's important.
It will affect their mindset going into the game against Atletico Madrid. Because, Charlie, it's a Champions League final. You've got an opportunity to play Champions League final.
I mean,
can you imagine?
Last time they were there was 2006.
Guys, can you imagine this? Before we come back to record another podcast, we'll either be talking about Arsenal in the finals of the Champions. Do you know how Omar will feel editing that visual? Are you kidding me? He's definitely going to come here in an Arsenal jersey with Arsenal cookies, Arsenal watching, and everybody will be sorted.
In fact, he might even
next week
jump
by
onto
now,
the show.
I'm telling you, I think we need to make space for him next week by now.
Yeah.
Next week by now, God willing, we might be talking about Arsenal playing in the Champions League final. Can you imagine that? That's incredible. And I don't care how they do it. And no Arsenal fan cares how they do it. They just got to do it. And I think it begins with the game against Fulham. But the other game also is, of course, Man City will play against Everton on Monday. We know Man City, they know what they have to do. They need to win to keep the pressure on Arsenal. But the other game is the Man United-Chelsea game. Liverpool, Man United, Liverpool, Man United. Two teams who are looking to play in the Champions League. I think both of them will play in the Champions League. But what's the consequence of this game? Like, what does this game mean for any fan at all? What does it mean?
I mean, if you're a United fan, if you're a Liverpool fan, you know this is
a bragging right game for me.
And for United, what makes it more important will probably have to be the fact that maybe they win this game and they secure Champions League football.
I think they're going to play Champions League football. There are about 4 games left to the end of the season. Those 2 points, they will get it.
It's just a point or two.
Yeah, I think it's 4 points.
Yeah.
Look, what would be the most exciting thing for Manchester United would be to beat Liverpool. Looking at how their season have gone, beat Liverpool, celebrate Champions League, knowing that whatever happens, regardless what happens.
So beat Liverpool, secure Champions League.
Yeah.
That would be like a proper and to be at the double.
And that's the first time in a long time that Manchester United will do a double.
Carrick might just end up getting the job if he does that.
Yes, that is what I think this game is all about. It's about Carrick getting the job because
he beats Liverpool, he gets the job.
If you are able to beat Liverpool,
that will be Manchester City, Chelsea beating.
Yes, he beats Liverpool, beat Man City, beat Chelsea. Beating Liverpool is the icing on the cake because to many, Carrick already has a job. To many, but there has been question marks about we've seen recent games, the Leeds result, even the manner in which we won against Brentford wasn't convincing for some fans. They feel like we didn't control the game much. Carrick's philosophy of football has been to get a result, and everybody's up for it because of what we've been through.
Yeah.
So there was a comment that KF made after the game, which is a Brentford manager, that what people are making of Carrick now is because of what they've made of Amorim. So because Amorim couldn't get certain results, so they're already praising Carrick. They're giving Carrick all the praise because he has been able to take us from that, let me say, that trench hole of not getting results. So nobody's talking about the football anymore. Nobody's complaining about switching to a back five when it's in the last 90 minutes. Nobody's talking about it.
They want results.
They just want results. So nobody's talking about that. And that has to continue. Me, I don't care if we play 5 back and you win 2-0. I just don't care. I just want the results. Yeah. And the result is what puts you at the top.
With excitement.
Oh, he's happy.
Chale, if your team is good,
it is good days. Good days.
If your team good, they are sweet and so they talk in the loud song and they sit there, they watch you, son. Chale. Nah. Michael Carrick has done a good work.
Yeah, he has done a good job.
Yeah, but you seriously believe that if you get a win against Liverpool?
He gets a win, gets a job. But for me, I just want us. Let's keep winning. If you keep, because when he came, he has won like most of the matches. Like 9 out
I think the only team that has gotten more points than Carrick has to be Bournemouth, if I'm not wrong. Because they have the longest unbeaten run in the Premier League. I think the last 18 or 12 matches.
Yeah, so that is why some people are tipping. Areola has left the club.
Yeah, he will leave at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's done. It's been confirmed that
he's been tipped to
replace that.
But if you look at the job Carrick has done since he took over, I don't think.
For me, I want an experienced manager, but for Reala, it's just bomb off. You see, the pressure that comes with coaching Manchester United is different, and you have to reset the team again because there's a new coaching. But if you have Carrick at the helm of affairs, to probably get him some quality players, because currently we don't have a good midfield apart from. Comeno, maybe Casemiro is getting old. He's going to leave at the end of the season. You need 2 midfielders to back it up. Bruno Fernandes doesn't have a replacement. If Bruno Fernandes gets injured now, I don't think Manchester United can win a football match. Yes, even it happened. Comeno got injured in that Leeds game and we couldn't win a football match. So this is important. United need to get a backup for Bruno Fernandes and a quality backup. A backup that, if he knows, I'm not sure the backup will be good as Bruno Fernandes, but he has to be somebody who can do a job. Because when you don't have Bruno Fernandes in the team, you don't know how important it is. Some people are even attributing how good United have been to Bruno like to Bruno Fernandes's performance because United has been so good in this round because Bruno Fernandes' goal contribution has increased. He has been the most contributor, and that has also pushed him to. He's close now to breaking the all-time Premier League assist record as well. So I think he has been a crucial player for us, and we need to find a way to make his work more easier by getting quality players around him as well.
So Man United without Bruno Fernandes is like ice cream without the cream.
Yes.
It's like Chelsea without Abramovich.
Oh, Charlie. No, this is bad.
Charlie, delete it. delete it. You don't say that. And we're talking about Chelsea, though. True to the finals of the FA Cup, I think it's the best way for them to save the season. If they win it, it will be good. But they're coming up against Manchester City.
That
but I think
very
still, if they don't win it, it's a good end to the season. They've shown that, look, the project has had its own issues, but they've been competitive in the cup competitions.
And that's one thing I like about Chelsea.
They've been competitive, and I think it's a good end to the season for Chelsea fans to go to Wembley and witness an FA Cup final. They have to try and win it. If they win it, it will be great. All right? It will be great. I'm missing out.
It will be great.
Yeah, I mean, we are not playing Champions League football. We end the season with a cup. When we need cup, I know Bekasao.
And you see, that will be a big banter for Arsenal. If Arsenal also fails to win a trophy this season and Chelsea win the FA Cup.
Where is your trophy?
But it will also be a banter for you.
No,
why are you running away?
No, me Chelsea fans don't banter me plenty like that.
Obviously.
Because I get plenty things past there.
Oh, madam. We say madam. Where I come, madam.
But look, that's I think Fenty made a
Um,
certain assertion, and I maybe you want to disagree. The fact that the pressure that comes with coaching Man United is different. It's a football club. All you have to do is put your Arsenals together. If Iraola can get the job done, and I always mention him because look, I don't want to say he should be given the United, but he's in the running because of what he's done at Bournemouth. Came into the team, and you even have to go back to his days with Rayo Vallecano, what he did with Rayo Vallecano before coming into this Bournemouth environment, what he's done with to be able to be doing this with this Bournemouth squad. They don't look too experienced, but he's been able to get the results out of them.
So you think Man United will not be too big for him?
I don't think it will. There's nothing like a pressure on.
Okay, so you see, let me come in a bit about this, right? We also what Ruben Amorim, right?
Yeah.
Did at Sporting.
Yeah.
He came in. I think his first season was really bad. That one, nobody can dispute that. Like, it was that awful.
Actually.
15th is not something that nobody can defend. I will not defend Ruben Amorim 15th position United last season.
Yeah.
But if you look at this season, right? United haven't been that bad. Where was United before he was signed? You were 8th on the table. Do you get it? We are not 15, we are not 13. Where's Tottenham Hotspur now? They won the Europa League last season. They beat United. Where are they now? They're fighting with the
You can't use Tottenham as the benchmark for Manchester United.
What I'm saying is that
you can't. There's no way you're using Tottenham as a benchmark for Manchester United.
I'm not saying it's a
this is a
benchmark.
team that should be competing for honest every season.
Wait. I'm not saying. Why should I look down on my team? I'm not saying that.
No, but your statement to look at how. No. I don't think any fan. I don't think any fan from where they sit. I don't know. Then again, I don't think any fan from where they. No, I don't think any fan from where they sit will come to this assessment with him that Amorim wasn't bad because the team was 8th.
The team is saying.
No, he's saying
Abeloa said no, they sit up.
He's saying that.
But I don't want to talk about that one.
No, I don't have a problem.
Anything at all.
The pressure that comes to coaching big clubs is not easy. See Abeloa. He's suffering. The thing is that when you come to a big club like Manchester United, it's not just about the tactics.
What is it
if you bench one player, the way the Man United fans criticize Amorim because of benching Menu. Because it's an important player because of the academy.
What's the pressure?
You get it? Even though he doesn't fit into Amorim's system, right? No, what I'm saying is that in his system, he doesn't fit into it.
How does it fit?
I'm not defending Amorim.
Bruno playing as the number 8. Is the fitting Bruno playing the number 8?
No, what I'm saying is that.
See, how are you telling me Kobe Menu's competitor is Bruno Fernandes?
What I'm saying
how are you telling me who in his right sense?
He's playing 2 midfielders. Why? He should play his system. That's what I'm saying, that in his system, it doesn't fit.
Coaches look at what is available and work with them.
What I'm saying is that the pressure that comes to coaching Manchester United is different. It's on a different level. Rannick didn't work because of that pressure. There's lots of things, the fans, the dynamics the annoying part is the legends.
You think Andani will not fit into that
The
pressure?
likes of
You think he cannot handle that pressure?
see the quality is there, no doubt about it.
No, but so you think he
The
cannot
pressure
handle that pressure?
at United is different from Bournemouth.
So you think he cannot
What's
handle
the
that
pressure?
I just feel like
Then again, what's the pressure?
He mentioned it. He's spoken about the influence that the former players have got, the influence that the fans have got, and the demand on you to win games consecutively. That is pressure.
see,
That is an
even
undisputable
Chelsea,
pressure.
Chelsea
But
that
are
is
you
not-
suggesting that Raiola cannot handle that pressure?
for me, what we've got now, we are not at a place
My guy.
where we can give the manager to somebody who is not up there.
Hold on. So who would you want to take over the United job?
I want an experienced coach. Who? The likes of Tuchel, the likes of Luis Enrique, coaches that are up there. But the thing is that we can't get those coaches. But if you compare at this season, if you look at what Andoni Raiola has done, and even the previous seasons, right? He hasn't performed to that level.
What was Luis Enrique's job before taking over the Barcelona
He didn't
job?
finish in the top four.
What was
Andoni
Enrique's
Raiola
job before
finished in
taking over
top
the
four.
Barcelona
He
job?
didn't finish European places.
What was Enrique's job?
You playing the longest unbeaten man in the Premier League, and you think it's normal?
Did he finish in the top
He's
four?
coaching Bournemouth.
That's what I'm saying. So when you're coaching Manchester United, there's a difference. Bournemouth. Where I come to it's Bournemouth, man.
All right.
It's Bournemouth. For God's sake, you're coaching Bournemouth.
And I hear
I
I
don't
want
coach
Luis
egos.
Enrique. Luis
I don't
Enrique.
coach egos in
What
your
was
team.
Enrique's coaching career before he joined Barcelona?
I think he had the benefit of having played for Barcelona. That gave him an opening, easy opening. If Andani was a former Man United player,
That one, yes, a
Easy.
different character.
everybody will forget that he was he's a coach of Bournemouth. Easy, you will be taking.
Xabi Alonso was a coach, was a former player of
He
Real
came in
Madrid.
as
He
an
came
And he
in-
got there. He
And
went there and they sacked him after
Yes,
because they
he
realized
sa-
he was not doing well.
No, because what I want to say, it's not about the pressure.
No,
it's about the results you are going to get.
No, but the point
If
is
you
that
come-
if Raiola was a former player of Man United doing what he's doing at Bournemouth, nobody will talk about pressure. He walked in the street.
Because
He
he
was
was
in
the
the
dressing
dressing
room.
room. When he gets
my
there,
point is
when he gets
my
there,
point, it
when he
doesn't need
gets
to be
there,
about, you look at the job that person is doing, and then you hire him.
Yeah, that's
What
fair.
is- what is the like?
That's
as
fair.
a manager,
But
I thought
then-
every manager has the right to walk into every dressing room, and then based on whatever you are doing at your club, whatever results you are getting, you have the luxury to walk into.
But then the
and
club
indicate
also has
them.
the benefits. They have the benefits.
I look at that
but they
Manchester
have the
United.
benefits
No,
of
I look at
history
that
of
Manchester
how
United
they
dressing room,
they have
and I'm
pride.
like,
You
who
know why
is
people talk
going to say
You know why
A
people
or
keep
B or
talking
C?
about United DNA? If you don't have the DNA of the club, certain things are
What's
there.
the
You don't
club's DNA?
understand. You know, United
What's the
fans
club's
keep
DNA?
shouting United DNA.
What's the club
because,
DNA?
See,
What's the club DNA? You're a United
there's-
fan. What's the club DNA?
there's a lot.
What is the club DNA?
there's a lot.
You're
The
a
way we
United
play,
fan.
the
No, what's
attacking football, the style, the energy, the atmosphere, the pitch.
You don't
it
play
all forms
attacking
part
football.
of the DNA.
Manchester United system has always been counter-attacking football.
You are going to talk about counter-attacking football. No, what I'm saying is that I'm not saying
I don't
Andrea
get it.
Raiola cannot win matches with United. I'm saying that when you're coaching United, it's a different ball game altogether. The pressure that comes with even just drawing a match. No, you see, Bayern Munich, Premier League, Bundesliga title, now Bundesliga what just pressure. But United, when was the last time United won Premier League title? The investment
because
United
the point is
even
that
makes.
because the point has to be made that whoever comes in at United next,
You know the funny thing,
The
and there's no
major-
guarantee
the
that
major-
an experienced
Lawrence,
coach
I'm
comes in and he rules the
but I'm
dressing
coming.
room.
But I'm coming. You see, one thing we also need to appreciate is that whoever comes in at Man United next coach, the target for next season is to win the Premier League. Like that's the target. That's like the target right now. You come in, you must win the Premier League. I don't think United is going into next season thinking, oh, let's see whether we can play Champions League. No, that's done. The club is done with, what do you call it? Prioritizing Champions League football. They want to play Champions League. In fact, Champions League football is now being seen as a normal thing at Man United. So at the very least, you play Champions League football. But winning the Premier League is Man United's target. And in the minds of the players, they're already talking about it. Mason Mount told Daily Mail that next season they can win the Premier League. You understand? And in the minds of Bruno Fernandes,
Yes,
for how
Bruno
long
Fernandes
he's been at the
been
club, it's
he-
time to win a
And
trophy.
winning trophies, you
So
cannot
right now,
mention
United is
Andrea Raiola
looking
in
for
that
a coach.
conversation.
Why?
He's not just looking for a coach
Why?
who come and
Well,
do
no,
well,
what I'm saying
but
is
to
that
win
the
the
pool of
Premier
coaches
League.
available. The pool
Why
of
do you-
coaches
why do
available.
you mean by-
If you look at the pool of coaches available,
It's not done it before.
Daniel Raiola is the best
No,
candidate for the
relax.
job.
So, no, but when Mourinho came to United, he had won trophies before.
Yeah, of course.
Good.
And he came to win
But
trophy
he
at
didn't win the
United.
Premier League.
No, he came to win Europa League at
No,
United.
but
What are you
so
telling me?
So you are telling me there are trophies he can win.
What I'm
No,
saying
you
is
are
that
telling me there are trophies to come in.
If Ariola wins FA Cup and qualifies for Champions League.
Yeah, that's what you're telling me. There are trophies to
I'm
come
not
in.
saying he has a field. What I'm saying is that
Do you know what I'm saying?
Anyway, fair enough. But the point has to be made that, look, whoever comes in to become the next manager of Man United is not just coming for Man United to see good football. You must win trophies. You must win the Premier League. Look, no United fans should shy away from making the Premier League a target next season. No Man United fans should shy away from that. No Man United fans should shy away from that. And the club, I think, I realized that, look, they've gotten the core of their team. Kobe Mainoo has extended his contract to 2031 now. It's done. They are telling Chelsea we cannot buy him. No problem. We'll wait for him 2021. We'll come and buy him. All right?
you want to come in?
We can't buy him. You think we can't buy Kobe Mainoo? Are you kidding me? We can't buy Kobe Mainoo. We can't buy Kobe Mainoo. So Bruno Fernandes now
We'll
done
give you
deal.
another Garnacho.
Mbeumo too is going to come good. Who else is out there? Cunha is going to
Sesko
come
is
good.
firing.
Sesko is firing.
People don't praise him
Ahmad
enough.
is there.
People don't praise
So
Sesko enough.
right now they need just some three players.
No, 5 signings. We need 5 signings.
Right.
We need one centre back.
Then you have a long way.
And
to
need
go.
one left back.
And then you need Raola. Charlie, 5 signings there. Then Charlie, no.
No.
5
No,
signings.
the reason why we need, you see, that's what I'm saying. That people don't know how good characters
Anyway.
performing, no, because the players we have, some of them,
It's okay.
That little ball game now, we need matches. I'm in prison.
It's
Carrick
okay.
has done well.
Anyway, we'll see how it all work out. Okay, we'll see how it all work out. The only other thing coming from Chelsea is that Mudryk, the FA has given him a 4-year ban for his anti-doping
Is it
situation.
a new ban?
I think it's the new ban. It's been confirmed because they were reviewing the test
Yeah.
that he conducted. We understand he's taking it to CAS now, the Court of Arbitration for Sport, and it's going to be looked into and see if they can reduce the ban or something like that. We'll see how that works out. For Chelsea, they're looking for a coach come next season. We'll see who they'll hire and all of that. So there's not so much to talk about Chelsea. But the other conversation is the Blackstars squad. June 1, we're finally going to know the team that will be going to the World Cup with, okay? But people are asking, should there be a quota for the local players? And the question people have asked to that question is, for what exactly? They said, well, to help the local players. Then he said, well, in 2022, when we gave them a quota, what did it do for any player or what did it do for the local league? Because bottom line, every club in the Ghana Premier League does not belong to the state. It's not a Ghanaian people property. It belongs to individuals. It's their property. It's their company. All right? Lawrence and Sons Football Club. It belongs to Lawrence and his family and his great-grandchildren.
Yeah, Hazakis
Penty
ladies.
Sporting Club. It belongs to him.
Let me nice.
So if you are giving them a quota
Penty
and you
Sporting
say,
Club.
well, we are, Penty Sporting Club. You know,
Nice name.
Penty
We
Sporting Club.
go
you know.
find out very soon. Soccer best go be the
Yeah,
sponsor.
if you're not lucky and they change the E to A, then problem for you.
So it comes what?
That thing, we can't mention it here.
You know, so, I mean, guys, I don't know. I don't know why this argument has come up again. In 2022, he came up. But there are divided opinions because I think he's a former Ghanaian player, right?
see.
Chipsa.
Yeah.
He's a former Ghanaian player. He says, Charlie, we must give them quota. You for put them for inside. And he's made a very passionate argument for that. But everybody is saying, Charlie, we want a squad for the World Cup. What is this quota? If they were good enough, you don't need a quota to bring them into the squad.
It's quite disappointing when we have to go back to this conversation over and over again. And to everyone who brings up this conversation, sometimes I ask myself, take away major competitions, okay? On a normal day, are they calling for a player, like a GPL player or a home-based player to be added to the national team? And look, let's be truthful to ourselves. The best players we have on our home soil are not even the Ghana Premier League. Sometimes they're not even in the Division 1. Most of them are with these Division 2 clubs. And it's the reason why you see some of them selling to the European countries. And then the player, you see the player with this B team, and then all of a sudden they're in the first team. Look, we need to understand that the league is not at a certain level where we can say this player A walks into the national team and is able to make an impact. This player goes into the national team and fights Mohamed Kudus for a spot. This player goes into the national team and does this. Look, Benjamin Asare is in the national team because when he went there, he proved himself. One out of the lots. Many have gone there. They've not really been They've not even had a
Once
chance.
upon a time, somebody went into the team, went to South Africa, and he said he couldn't perform because he was overwhelmed by the stadium.
Atmosphere.
And it was
And-
literally
and
an
this
empty
was
stadium.
empty
He was
stadium.
overwhelmed. That was a right back. We don't want to mention the name.
Oh, we won't mention him. You see, so my thing is, our league is not up there yet. Every time we see the performances of these players, they are not up to it. I've been to the stadium myself a number of times, and I don't see any standout player. Look, there is.
I mean,
there's
which player in a local league have gone ahead to excel at the very highest level for us to say, yes, this is a product. Like he was the best player on the local scene,
Yeah.
and has gone to excel at the very highest level. Say in the last 5 years, is there any player like that?
highest level. I doubt. Even the closest we come recent times will probably be Fatai Isaaku. Yeah. Fatai Isaaku.
Close will come
But then
with Fatai
when we make some of these comments, Zach, it's baffling. What a quota system. I feel anyone that goes into national team should be on a deserving ticket.
Yeah.
You need to deserve it. You need to earn your spot on the national team. We don't need to make it look like those who play in Ghana are more Ghanaian than those playing on the foreign lands. And sometimes some of these players, they play on the local scene, but they have to fight elsewhere to even be on those foreign lands. Look at someone like Kwabena Edu. Kwabena Edu played Ghana Premier League football. He played with Bayern United. But even at the time when the league was somehow competitive, he didn't get a chance. He had to fight his way through the European system. And then now with Victoria Pleasant, at the age of 25 or what, 24, 25, he's now getting a call-up into the national team. It's not a...
But isn't that why they made the argument that this same player, if he had stayed with Bayern United, he was playing for Bayern United,
Yeah.
right? If he had stayed with Bayern United, he wouldn't have gotten the call-up, and he only got the call-up because he was now in Europe. The same player.
He got the call-up because when he got to Europe, he fought. It wasn't as if when he got there, when he went to Europe...
When did they call Prince Edu Cup 19 It wasn't
It was
just
just last November.
Friendly game against South Korea.
Yeah.
That was the only time they called him. You get it?
So
That's what
you
he's
have
saying.
to work your way out. We saw... Sorry
But
to say
you
if I'm
understand the
citing
argument.
this
The
example.
argument is that,
But
the argument that this is the
we
same
are
player.
in the
This
league.
same player was playing on the local scene,
Yeah.
and then he only gets the call-up when he went to Europe. The same player.
because
You
when
went there,
he fought his way out.
And he was playing before, like, the consistency has to be there. The reason why it seems we are trying
We've been in this country, our best players moved to what? Libya, Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, and they are coming back. And then they are coming back.
Yeah.
We saw
Augustine Okra has
Kwame.
been to Tanzania like twice, and
Yeah,
he's been
Simba.
back.
He's been back.
One time when he went to Tanzania, I think about 2 or 3 seasons ago, it was
Charlie,
it was a
Albert
fanfare.
Amor was
It was a
bossing.
fanfare was when he was being unveiled, and I think and came back, and I think last 2 seasons or last season he went back to Tanzania. He's back to Bayern Munich.
Yeah. Albert Amor was bossing our league, literally bossing our league.
Yeah.
Then we decided to give him to Libya. Went to Libya. Less than 6 months.
They said they've loaned him back to Kotoko while the league season is still ongoing.
It's still ongoing.
Yeah.
see the quality that we have. For me, what I'll say is that it's just down to quality. It's just down to quality. If you are the best player and you've shown that you are better than the players you already have
Over a
in the
number of
team,
years.
you'll be included in the team. And that is how it should be done. I don't think the quota system will help us.
Not at
and
all.
if you look at what we've seen in recent times, with even the quota system, where we introduced the likes of Dalad Ibrahim, Fatal Isaku, even Fatal went on to do
Fie
some
Barnier.
Fie Barnier into the 2022 World Cup squad. They didn't prove to be players that went on to play
To become world beaters.
You get
Yeah.
it? They didn't even play a crucial role in the Blackstars team. The coaches didn't deem them fit to play or start for us in the World Cup itself. What I want us to do now is to look at which players are good enough to be selected. Let's use them for our Black Galaxies. Let's see how they perform.
And the point is
the
that-
Black Galaxies are not doing well. The Chan tournament, I don't remember the last time Ghana
In
qualified.
fact, these days the Chan tournament has been scrapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like before when we were playing Chan, the last 5 years.
Yeah.
When-
I think
what's the last time?
there's an edition coming, a final edition coming before it's scrapped. That there's a Chan tournament, a final Chan tournament that's coming up before it is
Scrapped.
finally scrapped. Because another Black Galaxies are in camp,
Yeah.
they've been training for that qualifiers, I believe.
And I'm sure that there's because the friendlies against
Defending
Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why they're training, but not for the champ. But what I'm saying is that they've not proven
Yeah.
to be the best players. Let me give you this example. Our under 15s, under 17s, and under 20s for some time now, in the last 6 to 7 years now, have been full of local based players.
Yeah.
When's the last time we won an under 15 AFCON? The only time we won an under 15 AFCON was with Karim Zito, and that team had their best player being
You mean
Fatai
under 20?
Issahaku. Yeah, the under 20, sorry. The under 20, which is Fatai Issahaku. And now he's playing in Leicester City. That shows you that when there's a quality player, we can identify that person, and that person can fit his team. That was Efi Ebane also part of that team. Danladi Ibrahim was also part of that team. That was that 20 crop of players.
Yeah.
That is what we can identify as quality. Even with those players, some of them couldn't live up to the expectation. That means that the quality we identified, it was just to our eyes. It wasn't at the standard where they can play at the World Cup level or at the European scene. Some people are making the argument that some players in the Ghana Premier League
what about the
are
argument
better than
what
the
about
players.
the argument? It's just a case of opportunities because whether you like it or not, it's not all the players that will have the opportunity to play at the very highest level, regardless of how good they are. They will just not get the opportunity. It's just circumstantial that where they find themselves in the part of the world where they find themselves, just like you mentioned that some of our very fine players are not even in Division 1 or the Premier League, or some of them are in Division 2. Just by dint of circumstance, they would just never get the opportunity to play at the highest level.
But some have
been
gotten the
intentional about their representation at the national team, in the national team, could help offer them that leverage to get the opportunity.
Actually,
But
the reason why
some
we
of
have
them have
we
gotten the
the
opportunity.
Black Galaxies. We have the U23s. We have the U20s for you.
And similarly, the reason why we have the CAF Confederations Cup.
Exactly.
Okay, fair enough.
And also, let me make this last point here. These players, some of them go abroad. They are best players here. When they go abroad, we don't hear from them again. We're in this country where Wilfred Kobna, one of the finest Ghana Premier League players I've seen. The midfielder, Accra Asofo, he won the Waffles will be with the Black Galaxies, and he was one of the brilliant players in the Ghana
I
Premier
think he
League.
went to Egypt.
He went abroad and nobody's talking about him. And the funny thing is that sometimes their first, second season in abroad, they do so well. But we don't call them into the national team. We don't call players who are playing in South Africa into the national team. We don't call players who are doing well in Egypt into the national team. There's a time we were calling players from Esperance. Harris Nafo was playing for Esperance at the time, playing in CAF Champions League. We were calling him into the national team.
Yeah.
But when John Entry was playing at Pyramids and was playing in Egypt, he was scoring goals. We're not calling them into the national team. We're calling people who were playing in the Ghana Premier League who were not equally as even good as John Entry at the time he was playing for Pyramids in Egypt. So what I'm saying is that we have to call players who are playing well all over the world.
Yeah.
And let's not limit it to just the Ghana Premier League. We have players playing in other leagues who are doing so well, and we've closed the door to them. And we've not even opened the door for them yet. Then we are coming to call Ghana Premier League players who are not even up to that standard.
The quality.
Look, bottom
We need to
line,
improve the
whether it
quality.
is financial, whether it's for publicity, whatever it is, if the argument about quota system for the Ghana Premier League should stand, whether we like it or not, it is not going to be to the benefit of the Ghana Premier League.
Yeah.
It's going to be to the benefit of the owners of these respective clubs. The $200,000 or etc. that each player, each team gets by dint of their player playing in the World Cup. You know FIFA gives that money.
Yeah.
It's going to the pocket of the owner of Mediama, the owner of BNE Gold Stars. It's not like when the money comes, then all the teams in the Ghana Premier League say, oh, yeah, that be if you Bania money went straight to Togbe. Danladi Ibrahim money went straight to Meshia Palace. 11 Wonders and the other teams, nobody got it. You understand what I'm saying? So if you are good enough, show it at the Black Galaxies level, then maybe we will pick you. And then you come and play for Ghana Premier League. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, man. That's all. Few things are going to happen before the end of the season. Chelsea will win the FA Cup. Bayern Munich will win the
Charlie,
Champions
you
League.
hesitated, though.
Manchester City will be back next week.